Buenos dias, clase. Feliz jueves. Remember, we don't have live class on Thursdays. So instead of you guys attending the live session, we're going to work together a little bit here. So I'm going to explain some things in el video that I'm making now, and then we're going to actually practice together where you kind of speak with me, even though it's on a video. So I'm trusting that you actually hablar en español, because that's the most importante. So today what we're working on is comparing things, which can be kind of fun, all right? And you should already know some comparisons from Español Uno. Agarran los libros, get your books, y vayan a la página 53. Give you a second to grab your books and go there, or you could pause the video. También, also, it's a good idea to have your notebook and jot down the notes. So as we go, you can pause and write down what things mean, so on and so forth. So taking some notes on comparisons. All right, so we have two people here. We have Pepe. Pepe tiene 13 años. Y tenemos Carlos. Carlos tiene 17 años. So este es la edad, or the age. All right, so if we're going to compare these two, we know how to say that one of them, Pepe or Carlos, is more blank than, more adjective than. So if I want to take an adjective, tall, for instance, because that's an obvious one, I see here Carlos. In English, we'd say Carlos is taller. We do this weird thing in English. We add an ER to the end. Taller than Pepe. In Spanish, you don't add anything to the end. You have to say it a different way. You have to say Carlos is more tall than Pepe. All right, so watch how I do that. Carlos es más alto que Pepe. And then I could say it the other way around. I could say Pepe is less tall than Carlos. So the way I do that is I'd say Pepe es menos alto que Carlos. Couple things to note here. Our adjective always agrees with the first person. So let's say Carlos was a female, Carlota. So then I would say Carlota es más alta que Pepe. So we always make our adjective agree, and remember, agreement means change that O on the end for gender and number to the first person we describe. All right? If I want to say older than, younger than, here's how I do that. Older than is mayor que, younger than is menor que. Get those in your notes. So we have their ages here. I could say Carlos es mayor que Pepe. Carlos es mayor que Pepe, and that means Carlos is older than Pepe. Again, I could say it the other way. Pepe is younger than Carlos. Pepe es menor que Carlos. Younger than Carlos. Don't forget to include es, is, or if it was plural, son, right? So I want to say Carlos is. Carlos es mayor que. And our last ones that you probably already know are mejor. Mejor, not to be confused with mayor. Try saying them. Mejor que and peor que. And mejor que simply means better than. Peor que means worse than. There's a lot of different ways you can use this in the sentences. Let me go through some. I could just simply say, maybe I think Pepe's a better player, so I could say, Pepe es mejor que Carlos. Pepe is better than Carlos. I could say Pepe juega mejor que Carlos, meaning Pepe plays better than Carlos. I could say Pepe juega al basketball mejor que Carlos. So I added a little bit. He plays basketball better than Carlos, right? So we can add some details, but that is the basics. So we have more than, less than, age, older than, younger than, better than, worse than. We're always using adjectives today when we describe. All right, let's go on. Really quick, a little nugget of how to say the superlative. Something is the most, or the least, or the best, or the worst. You would say simply el. I'm just going to keep el. Of course, it'd be la, los, or las. Put your noun, más, menos, adjective, de. All right, so let's see this in a sentence. Cecilia cree que hacer gimnasia es la actividad más divertida de la escuela. So that means Cecilia thinks that doing gymnastics is the most fun activity of the school. All right, if I wanted to say least fun activity, es la actividad menos divertida de la escuela. If I wanted to say the best activity, es la mejor actividad de la escuela. Worst activity, es el peor actividad de la escuela. Right? So you just have to know these words and feel comfortable using them in a lot of different ways. A practicar. I'm sorry, we're not at practice yet. I'm anxious to talk with you. What if they are the same with adjectives? So let's say Pepe just shot up and he grew and him and Carlos are now as tall as. So if we have a comparison using an adjective that is equal, you have this construction. We would say Pepe es tan alto como Carlos. Not que here, como. Here's another example. Pepe es tan deportista como Carlos. He's as athletic as Carlos. Maybe I want to say, talking about personalities, they look like fun guys. Maybe Pepe is as fun as Carlos. Pepe es tan cómico or tan divertido como Carlos. Right? So anytime we want to say two things have an equal amount of the adjective, it's not really an amount, but they're the same adjective, we use tan, adjective, como. Make sure that's in your notes because that's probably new for you. All right, ahora, un ejemplo de señora Daly. If I have this prompt, las uvas son tan blank como las frambuesas. Uvas, frambuesas. What adjective could I put in there? For me, I think they're delicioso. I think they're delicioso, both of them, equally. So I'm going to say las uvas son tan. What am I going to do with delicioso? Change it to match uvas. Son tan deliciosas como las frambuesas. Okay, so we change delicioso to match uvas. Let's do another one. They are as sweet. Las uvas son tan dulces como las frambuesas. How about saying they are healthy? There's a couple ways to say healthy. One of them is saludable. So I could say las uvas son tan saludables como las frambuesas. All right. Te toca a ti. You're going to get a question. Here's an example. ¿Cuál equipo de fútbol es mejor, Brasil or Estados Unidos? I'm going to give you a little skeleton, we call it, like part of the sentence in red down at the bottom, and you're going to fill in the blank. So you might think, in your opinion, Brasil es mejor que los Estados Unidos. Brazil is better than the United States. You can choose either one. You can give me your opinion. All right? So we're going to go kind of back and forth. You're not recording this. I'm not going to get to actually speak with you, but act like it, pretend like it, so we can get the most out of the activity. All right. ¿Quién es más guapo? Ryan Gosling or Justin Timberlake? You see you haven't read the skeleton. You're answering out loud. Don't write anything down. Speaking. I would say for me, para mí, Justin Timberlake es más guapo que Ryan Gosling, but it's your opinion. All right, next one. ¿Quién es más alta? Mary Kate or Ashley Olsen? They're the same. Use the red to say Mary Kate es tan alta como Ashley. All right, going on. ¿Quién es más fuerte? Hulk or Superman? Es tu opinión. ¿Cuál es menos caro? Which is least expensive? Well, guess what? They're the same. How would you say that? Let's call this la camisa morada, la camisa roja. So I could say, la camisa morada es tan cara como la camisa roja. It's as expensive as. Caro means expensive with one R. That was a tough one. Okay, en tu opinión, ¿cuál clase es más difícil? I'll give my opinion too. Para mí, so you can start like that. Para mí, for me, or en mi opinión, la clase de matemáticas es más difícil que la clase de ciencias naturales. ¿Quién es menos famoso, Jimmy Fallon o Conan O'Brien? Para mí, Conan O'Brien es menos famoso que Jimmy Fallon. ¿Quién es más bonita? Both of them are pretty. How would we say that? Cinderella, or Cenicienta, es tan bonita como Blancanieves, which is Snow White, Blancanieves, like that. ¿Cuál libro es menos interesante, clase? Para mí, To Kill a Mockingbird es menos interesante que Los Juegos del Hambre. ¿Quién es más rápido? We're still speaking, giving your opinion. Good job. ¿Cuál es más interesante? Gracias por la opinión. ¿Quién es menos amable, Regina George o Cruella de Vil? Y ella viene de una película, Mean Girls. ¿Quién es menos amable? Amable means kind. Who's less kind? Give me your answer. Los dos son muy antipáticas. ¿Cuál cereal es mejor? Muy bien. ¿Cuáles son mejores? Which are better? Los perros son mejores que los gatos para mí. ¿Cuál es peor, estar sin papel o estar sin carga? Getting a little silly here. Para mí, estar sin papel es peor que estar sin carga. So being without paper is worse than being without battery in your phone. ¿Cuál es mejor, DC o Marvel? Which is better? ¿Cuál es el peor equipo de béisbol? Para mí, los Astros, or el equipo de Astros es peor que Nationals. ¿Quién es mayor, Betty White or Beyonce? What does mayor mean? It means older then, so Betty White es mayor que Beyonce, not an opinion, facts. Same here. ¿Quién es menor, Gloria o Lily? Obviamente, Lily es menor que Gloria. Muy bien, clase. I hope you spoke and got some good practice in. Now, your tarea para mañana is to go through the slideshow titled 1B Comparaciones. Using the pictures, you will see a yellow box. You will actually put your mouse in there. You will write a full sentence in Spanish using a comparison. And when you've done all 7, you will submit them. Let me just show you an example. So like here's number 1. It says, ¿Quién es más cómico? Will Smith or Adam Sandler? Excuse me. I would write in here, Will Smith es más cómico que Adam Sandler. So write in that yellow box. All right, and that's all we have for you today. We will work on más comparaciones mañana. Adios, amigos.